And our next session is Food Security to Nutrition Security, India at 2030. This will explore how India is addressing the challenge of not only feeding its population, but also ensuring better nutritional outcomes for all. We are honored to have a keynote from Mr. Chirag Paswan, Honorable Minister for Food Processing Industries, Government of India. Mr. Paswan has been instrumental in transforming India's food processing sector, enhancing efficiency and boosting value addition to improve food security outcomes. Introducing the Minister is Anuja Kadian, Government and Industry Affairs Director at Corteva. Please join me in introducing Anuja Kadian to stage. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. The 2024 India Ideas Summit is a prestigious gathering of business and government leaders from the US and India and the two countries. As we embark on this important dialogue, it is my privilege to introduce a visionary leader who has been at the forefront of India's journey towards modernization and inclusivity in the food processing sector. Shri Chirag Paswan, Honorable Minister for Food Processing Industries, Government of India has carved a remarkable path in Indian politics and public service. Representing the Hajipur constituency in Bihar, Shri Paswan has been a member of parliament since 2014. His leadership is deeply rooted in a vision to enhance India's food processing capabilities, reducing agricultural wastage, ensuring food security, and fostering innovation through technical advancements. Shri Paswan is also known for his unwavering commitment to social justice and inclusive development. As the president of the Lok Janshakti Party, he has tirelessly worked to uplift marginalized communities, ensuring that progress in food processing sector benefits all, especially the most vulnerable one. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Shri Chirag Paswan. Now I request Honorable Minister to provide his remarks. Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, all the esteemed guests, thank you so much for the kind words. I really appreciate that. First of all, I'm really sorry for being late. It was beyond my control. I was traveling, and because of the torrential rains, the flight got delayed. So was the reason that I'm late. I'm really sorry. My apologies for that. But thank you so much. I thank US-India Business Council for giving me this opportunity to come here and speak in front of you all and to provide or to put forward the vision of the Government of India when it comes to food processing, when it comes to food security, when it comes to nutrition security. I think this is what is the need of the hour. Also, along with the food security, I think nutritional security is something that is much needed in today's time. Well, again, as I begin, I would like to thank you all for being so patient, and again, my apologies for being late. Well, I'm delighted to be a part of India Ideas Summit, a platform that continues to foster the dynamic partnership between India and the United States. As we gather here, we recognize the important role our nation plays in shaping the future of the global food industry. I also extend my heartiest congratulations to the US-India Business Council for organizing the India Idea Summit, for fostering our ties for 49 years and successfully connecting over 2,000 US companies to India's growing economy. Our focus today is one of the most pressuring challenges of our time. Ensuring food and nutrition security is in an increasingly complex world. The transition from food security to nutrition security is not only a priority but a necessity for us as we strive to meet the global commitments to ensure zero hunger by 2030. With the combined challenges of climate change, population growth, supply of chain disruptions, the question before us is no longer just to how to feed the world, but also how to nourish it. India's role as a food surplus nation places us at a unique crossroad. Our rich food diversity, from cereals to pulses to fruits to vegetables, dairy, positions us to address a global nutritional need effectively. Yet we must ask ourselves how we can harness the full potential of this diversity. The answer lies in leveraging technology across the entire value chain, from farm to fork, ensuring efficiency, sustainability, and traceability at every step. We are witnessing a transformation driven by the artificial intelligence, blockchains, digital platform. These advancements are enabling us to map soil health, monitor crop yield, predict adverse weather events, reduce post-harvest losses, enhance packaging, and improve traceability. Blockchains, for instance, is revolutionizing transparency in supply chain, ensuring that consumers can trust the source, quality, and nutritional content of their food. By embracing these technologies, India is not only enhancing its food system, but also setting new standards for sustainability and global food security. This is not just the future, this is India's present. While the advancement in these technologies are indeed transformative, they must be complemented by robust market linkages to create lasting impact. Strengthening connections from small-scale players to the food sector is essential to ensure they have direct access to both domestic and global consumers. The integration of digital financial services and initiatives like UPI has created opportunities allowing these market players to engage directly with the local and the international market, yet a lot remains to be done to make this integration seamless. The Government of India, through its whole of the government approach, is focused on enhancing economic growth while ensuring sustainable development. First and foremost, we are committed to strengthening the agriculture and the food processing sector as critical drivers of the economic growth. Sustainability is a core component of our strategy for reducing carbon footprints, enhancing resource efficiency across the food value chain. By promoting value addition and agro-processing, we aim to increase farmers' income, create employment opportunities, enhance rural prosperity. Through initiatives like Pradhan Mantri Kisan Sampada Yojana, through also like production-linked incentive schemes, we are driving investments in cold chain, warehousing, and better technologies to ensure fresh produce reaches consumers faster with minimal losses. This directly enhances our capacity to feed the nation while creating economic opportunities for our food processing sector, particularly for the micro, small, and medium enterprises, which are critical to fostering innovations in the industry. As we scale up these initiatives, our focus remains on building a food system that is not only productive, but also resilient and diversified. Our investment in climate-resilient crop varieties, regenerative agriculture, and organic farming are key to ensuring that we can create nutritional needs of our future generation while safeguarding our environment. However, in today's time of the global interdependence, our country's journey towards the food nutrition security cannot be achieved in isolation. We need global partnership to share technologies, knowledge, resources. The India-US partnership, as reflected in the event like this, is essential in advancing the cause of global food and nutritional security. Together, we can address the climate risk, supply chain disruptions, and nutritional challenges to pose a risk the global food system. that poses a risk to the global food system. India's commitment to Atmanirbhar Bharat, self-reliant India, is deeply intertwined with the vision of food secure world, one where nutritious food is available to all, where innovation drives sustainability and growth. As we look forward to the spirit of Vasudev Kutumbakam, where we Indians, we believe that the whole world is one family, I am confident that by working together and leveraging our collective strength in technology, sustainability, and market access, we can create a food system that nourishes every individual. India stands ready to collaborate with global partners to achieve shared vision of world where everyone has access to safe, nutritious, and sustainable food. With these words, I would like to conclude. Again, thanking you all for having me here. Thank you so much. Namaskar.
Thank you very much, Mr. Paswan. Would you like to be a part of the panel? Great. Please take a seat. And meanwhile, let me introduce the other panelists and the moderator of the panel discussion. May I please call upon Mr. Rajneesh Chopra, India Chief Executive, Amway. Ms. Devyani Rajalakshmi Rana, Vice President, Public Affairs, Communications and Sustainability, Coca-Cola India and Southwest Asia. And this session is being moderated by Mr. Rick Rosso, Senior Advisor and Chair in the US-India Policy Studies, Center for Strategic and International Studies. Mr. Rosso, I hand over the session to you.
Well, great. Well, thank you. And I thought for the session here, it's a great opportunity to show the interplay, the big programs and projects the government of India is planning under the minister's leadership, but then to speak a bit about the ways that companies can and should support those goals, based on their own plans and business interests. But together, of course, the opportunities they can unlock on food and nutrition security really are monumental. Mr. Minister, if I can start playing, I think, on one of the last things you brought up there. What sort of lessons do you think India is going to have for the world? We had a great G20 leadership for India. Clearly, India playing a big role in terms of trying to deliver grand value to the global south. So what work do you plan on doing that might be able to spread that prosperity and the great ideas India's been generating to the rest of the world?
Well, I think India is a country of diversity. And due to this diversity, the abundance, I think in every sense, is there. And to convert this abundance into opportunity is, I think, what we all are working towards. Whether it's related to our population, where India globally is a huge market for the rest of the world. When it comes to agriculture, we would love to be one of the leaders, who can actually feed the world. We want to be the innovation hub because of the minds that we have, in our country. So I think this thing, how to convert our abundance into an opportunity which can be helpful globally is what I think we all are working towards.
Well, and understanding for a country that's urbanizing fast, that the idea is that the need to create jobs quickly, food processing has real opportunities in that space. So what are some things that your government may be looking to do to try to stimulate and encourage food processing, including potentially partnering with companies? So wondering about some of your vision for food processing and how big of a role can that play in job creation for the country?
No, definitely. With partnering with companies, with different countries, definitely yes. With exchange of technology, with exchange of R&Ds, with exchange of new startup ideas, Definitely, we want to get this particular industry of food processing. See, ultimately, when I talk about abundance, one of the prime concerns is the wastage also. And post-harvest wastage is something that we would want to minimize those losses, post-harvest losses is something that we would want to minimize. And for that, we are incorporating various new technologies, new ideas. Recently, we have come out with the irradiation technique, where you can increase the longevity of the products. So yes, these are the technologies that we want to introduce in our country, also in collaboration with various other countries globally, where the new technologies, where R&D is being done, and these things are already in function. So we would want to adapt those technologies. So yes, with such collaborations, making sure that that this abundance that we have in the agro sector retains in a manner where we can serve the world is something that we are aiming towards. And in that, I think the food processing industry contributes majorly. So yes, this would be some of our priorities.
It's amazing, leading up to this, looking up some of the numbers in terms of India's agriculture trade, because I think in the United States, we always thought that India's agriculture was one of the reasons it would be hard to engage India on big trade talks. But now, suddenly that dynamic is changing. You see...
Converting this into our strength.
It is such a dramatic turnaround from what we saw, just a decade or two ago. I know you got to spend a little bit of time with Governor Reynolds from Iowa, too. And I think we all got to hear from her comments before, that great moment of partnership between the United States and India when scientific cooperation in the early days 60 years ago really kind of helped India overcome, the challenge of famine that we saw there. And I think, work that your government can do with states like Iowa, really kind of holds untold promise. One of the big changes we see in the United States is the shifting away from animal proteins and trying to find alternative sources. India, that's a space India knows better than any country, is ways to kind of move away from animal and towards other forms of protein. So any insights, any thoughts and ideas on that strain that you have that we coming here from the United States could take advantage of and learn from?
Well, I think proactively we are trying to position ourselves in a space where we can be one of the leaders, providing plant-based protein. I think the world eventually is becoming health conscious, and alternative source of protein is something I think everybody is looking forward to. And India being such a diverse country, with so much of varieties and pulses and millets and stuff. So I think we can actually navigate in this sector. So yes, this is something that proactively and with a lot of R&Ds and introduction of new technologies and innovations, we are working towards this.
That's a great thought. Well, if you don't mind, Minister, I'll bring in a couple of our private sector voices as well. You've laid some great ideas on the table that I'm sure they're going to be able to feed off of, if I can use a bit of a pun there, and maybe augment and contribute to. Starting with what I consider a bit of a hometown company for me, Amway. I went to college in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and Amway, not just the things that they do for the world, but the things they do for the local community in Grand Rapids and Ada, really is tremendous. Rajneesh, it's great to have you here. We talk a lot about some of the health challenges the government of India is trying to confront, and naturally our eyes focus on some of the big government programs. But how do companies like Amway, play a role in this larger space of making sure that people continue to get healthier as populations grow and India confronts other challenges like climate? So over to you, Rajneesh.
Yeah, that's a great question. In fact, before I kind of respond to that, I can tell you I'm ecstatic to be back in India. I'm coming back to India after a fairly long time, and I grabbed the opportunity to come back to my country where I was born, after over a decade. Very, very excited to be back. But most importantly, the question that you were asking, Amway continues to embark on that journey. And I truly, I want to start with saying India is for Amway, Amway is for India. We've been here for over 26 years. We have the #1 dietary supplement brand in the world, which is called Nutrilite, which many of you might know, many of you may not know. We have 6,000 acres of organic farming taking place. We have more than 800 scientists, 750 plus patents. As I look at India, a billion plus people, the opportunity is just tremendous. When you look at the India demographic population today, you got 50% of the population which is less than 25. You got about 65% less than 35. So guess what they like to do? They like to spend. It's truly a consumption economy. And it's baffling to me the level of awareness that people have, how they read the labels today, how they try to understand the source of the ingredients, which was never before that I remember. So that's, I think, one thing which has really, really progressed so well in the Indian economic environment. The other thing that I kind of reflect on is the journey that we are on, the transformation of people's lives. We talk about transforming 5 million people's lives over the course of next 5 years. And how are we going to do that? By creation of blue zones of wellness. And I don't know how many of you understand the concept of blue zones, but it's about creating common lifestyle habits. Health and well-being, the conversation is shifting from lifespan, because everybody is living longer, to health span. It's not about how long you live, it's about how well you live. And that's the conversation which is shifting from, lifespan to health span. I want to echo that it's India for Amway, and Amway for India.
Oh, thanks for that. Devyani, a lot of times with a company with a brand as big as yours, you think of the product. But, as we've been talking about on stage with the minister, jobs is obviously a critical component. I wonder if you can speak a little bit, like, what does that ecosystem look like for job creation for a company like yours with, is it urban, is it rural, is it a little bit of everything? I wonder if you could talk about the jobs angle, because that's what I think a lot of folks are kind of hungry for when we talk about this role that companies are going to play in this space.
Thank you. First, I'd like to start by congratulating our Honorable Minister and the Government of India, because having been, with my company for the last 3 years and the kind of amazing changes that his ministry has put forth, and especially ever since he's taken over, it's a very exciting time for us. In terms of jobs, if I look at Coca-Cola, we've been here for over 30 years. We've actually set aside from 2023 to 2030, 48,000 crores with regard to investments in this country. In the last 2.5 years, going up till next year, we are going to be investing 12,000 crores. We have 69 facilities across 16 states in India. All our facilities, I'm very proud to say, are in Tier 2 and Tier 3 and Tier 4. What does that mean? It means we actually employ blue-collar employees. It means we employ them right from where they are, from their own homes, their own cities, their own villages. And every one that we employ, it's 1 into minimum 10, sometimes even 1 into 120, because the ancillary system in terms of transportation, supply chain networks, my retailers, which is small and medium retailers, as well as the entire distributor network. So we have in India over 5,000 plus distributors. We have in India over 15 lakh retailers, and every year we create approximately 100 to 150,000 new ones. I think the beverage sector, and I'm not just talking about, I think, Coca-Cola, the entire beverage sector and the food processing sector is instrumental in creating jobs in Tier 2, Tier 3, Tier 4. So it's something which, I think the government of India has given us the incentives across various states because of that, and we have PLI incentives from the ministry itself. But the bigger thing, I think, is also the creation of the small and medium retailer networks. The creation, because, we source locally from our farmers. So Coca-Cola is the largest single procurer of mangoes and sugar in India. So besides that, we do source a lot of our other fruits. And given the fact that India has gone very clearly, as the minister put it, from food security to nutrition security, we are looking at sourcing even more in terms of local, fresh ingredients for our ready-to-drink products.
If you need another mango taster to try to get the taste mix just right, just let me know. I'm always available for something like that. I won't ask what the best mango is, because I know that can be fighting words.
We'll make you taste the new Amrest Maza product.
Very nice, very nice. The minister talked a little bit about R&D and what goes into innovation in agriculture. I think a lot of times in the U.S.-India lane, we think of AI and we think of defense tech collaboration, things like that. But, it has to happen in a lot of different sectors. I know Rajesh Amway has just announced, some new laboratories that you're setting up. Can you tell us a little bit about what that looks like in your industry today? I mean, we know the development of, dwarf wheat and things like that was talked about before, but what kind of things are you doing right now that, speak to innovation in the space that we're talking about in this panel?
Yeah, no, happy to. The Honorable Minister just talked about protein. And, our number one selling product in the world is the all-plant protein. I just wanted to reflect on that because, as a company, we constantly strive to innovate. And we strive to bring in products with the highest quality standards. And we believe in research and development. We believe in ensuring that we keep setting up those capabilities. When you think about India, you see 65% of people dying because of lifestyle diseases. You have 85% people not having a nutritious breakfast. You have 80% of people not having enough nutrients. And then you have 70% people having gut health related problems. We believe that we are committed to India from an Amway standpoint. And we have 4 research and development labs that we just announced. Just a couple of days ago, we have put an investment of another $4 million in those research and development labs in Delhi, Bangalore, Gurugram, and Madurai. Why Madurai? Because that's where our manufacturing plant is. We've also invested about 1,000 crores in our manufacturing plant and research and development in Tamil Nadu. And so we continue to make those investments in people, in technology, in digital capabilities, which are really, we believe, are going to be forefront of taking our business, most importantly, the transformation goal that we have of helping people lead happier and healthier lives.
Thank you. Devyani, a company like yours has tremendous expertise in figuring out supply chains, breaking log jams and logistics. A lot of this hopefully would be useful and probably already is to government programs and such. So I wonder if you can speak about, what are some of the learnings that you have, that you're picking up all the time, areas for partnership. How do you get nutritious products in the hands of consumers as effectively as possible, as kind of the minister laid out in his vision?
So one of the things that we did, in fact, in 2014, Prime Minister Modi, when he met with the Pepsi and Coke CEO in America, spoke to us about, investing much strongly in the farmer networks here in India. So we started the Fruit Circular Economy program, and in the last, since 2014 till now, very proud to say that we have over 150,000 farmers that we work with in over 100,000 acres of land with regard to, so we're actually working with them on pilot programs in mango. So mango in UP, in Telangana, Andhra, Tamil Nadu, Orissa, and hopefully we can now do it in Bihar. Because one thing which we discovered exactly to the supply chain 2 years ago, when in the midst of COVID, we had a huge issue with regard to the mango supply chain, and we were only using a particular 2 varieties called Neelam and Beganpulli from Telangana and Andhra. And when we discovered that, okay, you can use Alfonso, you can use Langra, you can use the Sherry, you can use Chosa. So, let's look at diversifying our entire food supply chain. The same thing in terms of coffee. One of the brands that we own is Costa Coffee. Now we are working with farmers in Coorg and the National Coffee Board in terms of procuring directly from the farmers. We are doing that for apple. In Uttarakhand, we are doing it for lychees, we are doing it for grapes, and we are also looking at now alternatives to sugar, whether it be in terms of a stevia or a monk fruit. So we're looking at places in Madhya Pradesh, Himachal for that, because at the end of the day, the supply chain is key to us in every aspect. So for us, how do you make sure it's sustainable? How do you make sure ingredients are fresh? How do you make sure ingredients are extremely healthy? Because as you correctly put it, and what the minister said, the consumer wants to have healthy and nutritious products which have proper portion in it. And so today, even companies like us, we throughout the world. We are looking at plant-based, ready-to-drink products. The idea is to make sure that if the consumer is looking at it in a very healthy way. But the bigger thing is also, I think, somewhere when we look at all in terms of nutrition, we have also spoken to the minister about this. We should also look at nutrition-based taxation so that the fiscal policy aligns with the health of the consumer.
Well, I have one last question for the minister. There's always big events happening, but I understand the World Food Need program is coming up later this month. And obviously, your ministry is going to play such a crucial role. I wonder if you could tell us a little bit about what that looks like, what should we be thinking about, what should we be expecting. Sounds like it's going to be a fantastic opportunity to try to bridge some of these divides that we've been speaking about.
Well, I really hope so. It's with that idea only that, we are bringing this on the 19th of September, this month itself. So World Food India 2024 starts from 19th September till 22nd of September. And this provides a platform with all the stakeholders involved when it comes to food processing, whether they are the producers, whether they are the processors, whether there are the innovators, whether there are the new technologies, startup ideas, everybody under one roof, so that the collaboration becomes easy, not only B2B, but B2G, G2G, because many countries also participate in this, and this time we have a good number of countries participating in it. We have a lot of states from our country participating in it. We have a lot of ministries concerned to this sector. They are also participating. So it gets easy for us to collaborate. It provides a platform where everybody can interact with each other and can understand and can learn and can interact. And there are many takeaways from there. So yes, I mean, this year also, this is the third edition that we're doing. And so this year we are expecting a good event. It's going to be a 4-day thing. Different sessions like this going to take place where we can come up with new ideas. So yes, I think these 4 days going to be very interesting and will contribute a lot to the coming years of food processing industries.
I appreciate that preview of the big event. Well, we're going to conclude the panel here. It really is such a pleasure to have the minister here, and of course our great friends from industry. I mean, I think moving from food security to nutrition security is a big takeaway for me, that agriculture may be on the verge of really becoming a driver and a pusher of trade, and the importance of food processing to be able to take advantage of India's abundance. Innovation, not just the thing that's limited to U.S.-India defense lane, but there's a lot of great work in this space as well, and the companies are at the forefront for that. So please join me in thanking the minister and our valued guests for their terrific contributions today.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and what a wonderful session to kick off the post-lunch segment of the summit. Request you all to huddle for a group photograph quickly, and then we will move on to our next session. Thank you, Mr. Chirag Paswan, Mr. Rajneesh Chopra, Ms. Devyani Rajalakshmi Rana, and Rick Rosso for that amazing session. Thank you very much.